Every July and November, Barnes Noble runs a 50% off Criterion Sale. And every July and November, I walk into Barnes Noble thinking I'm just going to pick up one, maybe two movies. But then I sometimes leave wondering if I should just maybe skip groceries this week. Hey collectors, welcome back to the workshop. So the Criterion Collection sale at Barnes Noble is one of my favorite physical media sales of the year. It's one of the few times these incredible releases are on sale and you can actually walk into the store and physically pick them. You don't have to order them online. Though you can, because the sale is online as well. So whether you're brand new to collecting physical media or you're looking for a few additions to add to that already overcrowded shelf, this is probably one of the best opportunities you're going to have for the year. I've already done a list back in November, which you can check out. I'll leave the link somewhere up here. But today I have selected 7 other releases that I absolutely think are worth checking out during this July sale. So let's jump in. Let's start with one of the most beautiful movies ever committed to film, Barry Lyndon by Stanley Kubrick. This movie isn't fast, it isn't loud, it isn't constantly trying to entertain you every 30 seconds. Instead, Stanley Kubrick invites you into the 18th century and simply lets you exist there. Every frame feels like a classical painting. The famous candlelit scenes weren't just designed to look authentic. They actually used specially modified lenses so Kubrick could shoot using natural candlelight. It gives the movie this incredible warmth that still feels unlike almost anything else. This is one of those movies that reminds you why physical media still matters. The 4K restoration is stunning, and it's exactly the kind of film where presentation makes a huge difference. Honestly, this movie is so gorgeous. If you've always been curious about Kubrick, beyond The Shining or 2001: A Space Odyssey, this is a fantastic pickup during the sale. Now let's go from quiet elegance to absolute energy. Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing practically jumps off the screen. This edition is Blu-ray, not 4K, but if I were to make a list of Blu-ray that look better than most 4K out there, this would be on my list. The colors, the performances, the music, the camera work, everything feels alive. But underneath all that style is a movie that's asking difficult questions that somehow feel just as relevant today as they did when it first came out. It's funny, it's uncomfortable, it's emotional, and by the time it's over, chances are you'll still be thinking about it hours later. Watching this in 2026 feels less like revisiting history and maybe more like accidentally checking today's news. Criterion also packed this release with excellent interviews and supplements to add even more context to a movie that's already incredibly layered. Okay, let's get weird. If you've somehow managed to avoid being John Malkovich for the last couple decades, then I'm honestly a little bit jealous because you only get to experience this premise for the first time once. Trying to explain this movie sounds like the beginning of kind of a fever dream. So there's this tiny door behind a filing cabinet, and if you crawl through it, you become John Malkovich for 15 minutes. See? I already sound nuts. But Charlie Kaufman's screenplay is endlessly creative, hilarious, uncomfortable, and unlike anything else I've ever seen. It's one of those movies that reminds you cinema can still surprise you, and Criterion gives it exactly the presentation it deserves. Let's slow things down a little bit. One of my favorite surprises of the past year has been Flow. This edition was gifted to me, and when I opened it, my brother-in-law simply said, "A cat movie? Seriously?" We are not cat people. But what's remarkable is how emotionally engaging this movie is without relying on dialogue. It trusts the visuals, it trusts the music, it trusts the audience, and somehow it creates one of the most heartfelt animated films I've seen in years. The animation style is just gorgeous, and the story is universally relatable. If you're looking for something that feels genuinely different, this is an easy recommendation. Sticking with animation, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio might be one of the most impressive stop-motion films ever made. Every frame represents an unbelievable amount of craftsmanship. Every puppet, every set, every tiny movement, it's just really hard not to appreciate how much work went into creating this world. But beyond just the technical achievements, I do also believe it's an incredibly emotional adaptation that feels unmistakably like Del Toro. It has heart, it has darkness, it has hope, and it ends up being about so much more than a wooden puppet. Now, let's turn the lights off. The Others is one of those horror movies that understands atmosphere, is often scarier than monsters, right? And the great Nicole Kidman gives an incredible performance. The tensions build beautifully, and the less you know going in, the better. If you've somehow avoided spoilers after all these years, please keep it that way. This is exactly the kind of movie that's worth experiencing completely blind. And after years of people hoping for a premium release, it is, of course, fantastic to finally see it join the Criterion Collection. Finally, The Thin Red Line by Terrence Malick. If most war movies ask how battles are fought, Malick asks why people fight them in the first place. It's philosophical, meditative, it's visually breathtaking, and somehow it assembles one of the most ridiculous casts ever put into a single movie. I mean, seriously, we've got George Clooney, Sean Penn, Jim Caviezel, John Cusack, Woody Harrelson, John Travolta, Nick Nolte, Adrian Brody, Jared Leto, and the list just keeps going. It's less of a cast list and more of Hollywood just showing up on the same set. But this isn't your typical war movie. It's slower, more reflective, but if you're willing to meet it where it is incredibly rewarding. All right, those are my 7 picks for the Barnes Noble sale this July. One of the things I love the most about these events is that it's really an opportunity or an excuse really for us to take a chance on some of those movies, those releases that maybe at other times we wouldn't quite justify, paying full price for. Some of my favorite releases on my shelf are just that, ones that I took a chance on during one of these sales. But now I'd love to hear from you. What are you picking up this year? What's something you've been holding off on and are thinking now's the time. Let me know down in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, consider subscribing. Around here, we celebrate movies, music, games, books, all of the things that make collecting fun. Until next time, keep on collecting.